too. Papa John's just took their fresh, never frozen dough and hand stretched it into thin, oversized New York-style slices. I mean, look at that crust. That is the perfect crust thickness no matter how you eat it. So you can fold it or not. But I ain't gonna lie though, I fold it. Get a New York-style pizza from Papa John's. Better ingredients, better pizza.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com. Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Hey, Hey, good evening one, good evening all, and welcome to the ISCA Super Cup Series. It's Thursday night. We're live here from Daytona, USA, and that being Jolo, that's me up in the booth with Big Al and Kobe Jordan down in the truck, pulling the levers, pushing the buttons, and making it all happen. Big Al, how about this view of the carnival here at Daytona?
I feel like I'm at a carnival every time I get around you guys. Yeah, man, I love it, Joe. That was pretty funny. You led me into that one. Pretty excited to be here tonight, man. This is the one place right here where we get to shake it out. Get to turn left and right at Daytona. Who doesn't love that? This is the world center of racing. These guys definitely going to get to come out tonight, showcase a different set of skills, and we get to be willing participants to watch the whole thing go down.
That's right. It is the road course at Daytona tonight, so we are going to be making some lefts and rights tonight as we go around these. I think there's about 12, 13 turns here. Let's take a look at the conditions. 3.54 miles all the way around. We got 3 stages tonight, stopping at 9, 15, and then running from 15 all the way up to 41. 3 sets of tires and 23 laps in the gas tank with 81 in the air. 109 degrees on the track. It's a bit of a scorcher down there right now. Wind out of the southwest, or out of the south at 12 miles an hour, not 100 miles an hour. Phew, that'd be a gusty day. But it looks like it's going to be a hot one for racing. Here we slide right into the keys to the race. Big Al, why don't you go ahead and tell the good people about how they can get around Daytona?
Yeah, first thing you got to do is got to get some heat in those tires. Got to get them warmed up. You're not going to be able to turn till those tires get warm, simply put. Next thing is control the throttle on the exits. Road racing's a lot different than regular racing, so you got to be easy on the throttle. It's almost like you say you gotta have an egg underneath the throttle. You can't get slap happy. You know, a lot of guys, they get the opportunity where they see it straight and they just stomp on it. So you got to be very careful to control the throttle, especially on the exits of the turns. And the next thing is stay consistent. A lot of turns going on here tonight, and you want to have each turn perfect on each lap. That's the only way you're going to actually have a successful night. So you're going to have to do each turn. You're going to have to do each turn perfect. And you need to do that for every lap that goes on here tonight. And if you can do those 3 things, man, you'll have the race unlocked.
Okay, well, that's the 1, 2, 3 from the top to bottom. Those are some excellent keys to the race. And we've got our picks for tonight's race. Let's go ahead and get through those, see who we think is going to bring home the bacon, as they say, or bacon might be bringing home the bacon tonight. Let's start with my pick, though. My pick is actually not Bacon Zelenka. My pick is Greg Wachinski for tonight's race. I just had a good feeling about him in practice, and let's see what happens.
Yeah, man, and I had to go with Mr. Signore. I mean, been rolling with Sean for a minute here, so no reason to change that up tonight. Going to keep rolling with the Lucky 7.
Very good. And how about down in the truck? Kobe, what's up?
I'm going to stay with my horse. I'm going to stay with Kendall Lavron. I'm going to keep backing him. I know if he stays strong, he's got one in him. And tonight he's sitting on top of the leaderboard. So I think tonight is the best opportunity he's had all season to take home a win.
Kendall Lavron. I love it. And you got good reasoning for it. So we've got the 5, the 7, the 2. Those are the 3 to keep the eyes on from the broadcast team to you, folks. Who do you have a pick for tonight? If you're watching the broadcast, thanks for tuning in. Go ahead and let us know who you think is going to win tonight's race from the Daytona road course. We've got a little bit more warm-up to go here before qualifying kicks off. And we get to appreciate some of these excellent camera angles that Kobe has provided. Right now, it looks like it's eyes on the 2. I think that's Kendall Lavron right now. Kendall's doing very well, as you mentioned. He was up pretty high. He's actually sitting second place right now overall in the standings on the grid. He'll be sitting right next to the pole position of Vincent Crowe. So Kendall Lavron with some decent driving today. And that's going to be the session, the practice session Now we're going to move on to qualifying. See who can do what. And we'll jump around a little bit during qualifying here just to keep things fancy. Right now, it's Greg Wyszynski, though, getting ready to start that first lap to get the car warmed up and get some heat in those tires. Because as Big Al mentioned, you can't make turns out here if your tires are cold.
No, definitely not, man. And that's going to come into play here. But one good thing about it is we don't have any full course cautions tonight, so we should be able to slip through this thing, keep it green. That's going to allow for a lot of competitive racing, a lot of side-by-side action, hopefully. Hopefully we can keep this field kind of tight. 12 cars. Don't really want to see it spread out too much. We don't want to see it, become a runaway one way or the other. We'd like to have competitive racing all the way through this thing. So as these qualifying times are starting to come in, that'll definitely give us a better understanding of what we're going to be dealing with here tonight. Joe, I'm also starting to wonder just how much practice guys put down, because this is an off week in iRacing. This is the week that the big updates come out. So there's not a whole lot of official racing. As a matter of fact, there's none except for the NIS. So
I just noticed that too.
Yeah, and so with that, another thing we're going to be discovering tonight here is we're watching the 5 of Mr. Wyszynski. We're talking about the heat in the tires. A completely different tire model that we're dealing with here tonight. This tire model was just released Tuesday of this week. So there's been a lot of chatter in and out about the boxes about this not being, the most operative tire model, but no one has seemed to be able to come up on the net yet and let us know exactly how it's affecting the NASCARs. So excited to see tonight, especially after a couple stages, we can actually talk to some of these guys and they'll let us know how the heat's transferred and how this thing is actually holding on for them.
Yep, updates will have that effect where they throw a bit of a wrench into otherwise really good setups, or a wrench into the works where folks really think they got a good handle on something and then all of a sudden they don't. After something as simple as an iRacing update, that can really change the game for a lot of folks. So we'll have to see here.
Yeah, this was a pretty major update. Even the racetrack itself was updated. So definitely a lot. Like you said, it's going to be a lot to unpack there. And I don't think it's going to be favorable for everybody. Honestly, I think some guys are probably going to be, they're going to find this as another wrench to throw in their game. That's just a little foreshadowing from me, right? Is that okay?
Yeah, I'll take a little foreshadowing. I like looking ahead a little bit.
Yeah, like, Bobby Ray, what happened to you down there, man? My man, that damn car's driving like shit. They got a new damn model there now, race. Ain't nobody be able to keep the car straight all night. Something like that.
Yeah, no, that sounds about right. Yeah, the new model. Oh, it's doing it. Yep. Can't keep it straight. So whatever they did to it, it sucks.
Exactly.
Yeah, I can see that happening. I just got the rig put back together, Big Al, after a few months of being out of the racing game, and I drove the Gen 4 around a couple times, and let me tell you, Daytona is, on the oval section at least, Daytona is such a fun course to drive, and I cannot wait. I did not get any practice in the road course, but I'm wondering if anybody did, like you mentioned, actually put the practice in before coming out tonight, or if they just have a lot of road course experience. We're going to be able to see that pretty quick once these guys start going around. Who's got the experience? Well, they're going to be all the way out in front. Well, anybody who didn't do any practicing, they're going to be grouped together in the middle.
And that's not where you want to be, because one thing that will be the same is the damage model. It hadn't changed, so you find yourself getting beat up pretty quick. Also got to watch that first turn. That first turn's always been known to be a bit of a doozy. So, turn 1 at Daytona, right?
Yeah, turn one at Daytona, and I can see that turn 1 here is such a different beast. It goes immediately into that quick little S, and it is dangerous. It's where a lot of cars are going to try to make their initial pass, and it's a mess.
Hey, we got Signore. That's right, Big Al's driver, the only time posted so far. He's got himself a double nickel there with a 866 behind it. It's a pretty good run for Signore, at least so far. We don't have nothing to really compare it to. There's Kendall LeBron. He's getting in there with a nickel with a .005 behind it, so I think that would be considerably faster. I've been watching the game here, man, and I've been seeing a couple guys kind of sliding around.
Yeah.
But I had not seen as many guys make it around, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it's making it around without sliding, even in this practice stage when you've just got time to get it done. And not practice, I guess we're in qualifying now. Making it around without sliding is really hard to do. You're going to slide somewhere, and you're going to sacrifice something.
Yeah, that outlap's definitely got to be just as a patience trial. I mean, you just got to just, bide your time, because it's always been tricky, especially on a road course with cold tires. But now, that's all we're getting. So it's not like the drivers were not made aware of this situation. Now, being aware of it and how you deal with it, those are two different things. So I think that's what we're waiting to see. We're going to see how this affects drivers. Bacon Zelenka now with a 154.346 on top of the leaderboard, considerably faster. He's the only driver thus far. As a matter of fact, that's almost a full second than Signore. He's the only driver thus far to break the 154 moniker.
Yep, it looks like he is. Even LeBron is close but no cigar. Sean Signore close but no cigar. Yep, 154, and broke it by almost 0.7 of a second.
Yeah, don't you
very fast move.
I know you're starting to panic because you're looking at the time that Wojcinski put in, but don't worry. He's going to do a little better. I don't know how much better, but he's going to do some. Look, he did a lot better than Kenny Powell did. Powell's coming in, he's coming in drunk, and no, I'm just kidding. I'm just looking at those times, and that's a big gap. I've been riding with Mr. Sanchez, and I don't think he's been able to actually get a lap in yet.
Oh, really?
That's a true story.
I've been riding with Mr. Wojcinski and watching our stream broadcast here as we jump around and get eyes on a few of these guys here.
I'm digging that paint scheme. Greg's rocking. No, that's the 47. Sorry.
That was Vincent Crowe.
Vincent Crowe with a new paint scheme here tonight.
It looks good.
Yeah. Yeah, Vincent also coming down here below the sub 155s. Vincent was talking about that paint scheme last week, the Boss Hoss Cycles. I think he said he actually got himself on the back of one of those, and he was just talking about the experience. So definitely can't wait to get a better shout out for those guys here this week.
Mm-hmm. And the qualifying continues. Probably only got a few names left who are still trying to make those turns right now.
Yeah, see Kenny Powell.
You're at the Daytona road course.
There's Kenny's second lap. 157.631. Not going to be as good as his first. Well, it's better than his first. Probably not what he's looking for. We're still waiting on the 19. We got Jay Hone, who's still out, along with the 47. Vincent Crowe be putting down his second lap. Just around a minute left in qualifying.
Not bad, not bad, not bad. This is going to be an interesting one. We're going to have green flag racing the whole time, but I'm interested to see when those battles do happen, how they happen, and how guys use this space wisely for passing and such.
Yeah, I'm watching Jay Hone. I don't know if he's going to have enough time to actually get a lap in. I think his outlap is not going to work. Got the 7 car. He's gonna be giving it all he has to try to come around with a posted time. That's Sean Signore. But I don't think that's gonna make it either. His qualifying is gonna be coming to an end here. He's just got about 19 seconds coming through the chicane. Oh, hammer down, hammer down. He's gonna make it.
He's gonna make it.
He's gonna make it.
By God.
There
By God,
is
he's going to
5
make it.
seconds to spare, Mr. Signore.
He made it across the line.
All right, let's take a step away and get our national anthem, and we'll be right back with tonight's race.
Sound.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of free, and the home of the brave, the
Race fans, it is time for those most famous words in motorsports.
Remember when I told all my drivers, reach up there and pull those belts tight one more time? Drivers, start your engines!
Hey folks, we are back with the ISCA Super Cup Series. Be sure to click that like button, the subscribe button, and the bell, because that's how you find out when these races happen. And we are about to kick this one off. As you can see, the guys are lined up on the backstretch right now, getting ready to come down the short lap that leads into the start of tonight's race. Let's do the grid. Starting things off on the pole position, it is Bacon Zelenka with a 154.34. Very fast time. Vincent Crowe on the outside there. Row number 2, it's going to be Kendall Lavron with Sean Signori. Row number 3, Greg Wachinski and Kenny Powell on the outside. Row number 4, Jose Medina and Jeremy Clapper Newell. And in the 5th row, 9th place, Mark Sanchez, and 10th, Paul Olson.
That's with Jay Honey and David Javas rounding out this 12-car field.
You got it. All 12 cars lined up now. Looking good. We had about half the field set qualifying times. The other half didn't. Just sort of sat out and decided to wait and see how things played out. Plenty of time to get things sorted over the course of the next 41 laps that we've got to do. And pretty soon we'll be getting this grid going. It looks like we're just waiting on a few people up at the front. Bacon Zelenka hasn't yet to take the field, and Vincent Crowe is already out there waiting. There we go. All right. Got that nice blimp camera view here of the guys lined up in the back. Once again, you have a chance here to say who you think is going to win tonight's race. Pop that in the chat, folks. If you got something, say something. But here is a nice tight shot. Looking good with that U.S. Air Force paint on the front of the Zelenka car. Looks like in just about 20 seconds we should be getting things going, if not a little bit sooner here. But this road course is going to test some of these guys' discipline. A lot of left turning in this league, but this time you got to be able to turn the other way as well, and that's just a different side of your brain.
Yeah, that's right, man. I love turning left and right. Like I said, you know, when I initially came over to iRacing, I came over, you know, to become a professional road racer. But then, I met my girl and fell in love with NASCAR, and so, well, you know, we've been an item ever since.
Very good.
Oh, Bacon. It looks like he's going to be pulling over there, serving another one of those end-of-line penalties.
Okay. And the 47 of Vincent Crow takes a quick joker lap.
Yeah, taking a joker lap.
During the warm-up, during the lead-in here. The 1 to green. That has changed our lineup a little bit here. Now it's Kendall LeVron and Vincent Crow up on the front.
Take a good look at the field. This is the last time you're going to see them actually in all their glory here tonight.
That's true. We're not going to have another moment like this.
Mm-hmm.
We've got the second bus stop here before we get to the start-finish line. And very shortly, there he goes. There goes the pace car. We're getting ready here. There's the flag waver. He's ready. And here comes the restart zone. We are go here at the ISCA Super Cup Series. Let's see how they make it through the first turn. We got Vincent Crow in the middle now, almost 3 wide. LeVron next to him. But pulling ahead, that's Sean Signori. Signori out ahead now, leading the pack. Everyone's staying in line. Nothing too crazy right now. I don't see any off tracks. Don't see anybody losing control. Everyone's staying very, very disciplined as we get things started off here on the first lap of 41.
Yeah, that's right. Green flag's out. Hopefully it will stay out. Yeah, it's going to stay out. I don't think it's going to bring it back in. Tonight's going to be those dreaded stage cautions, those stage breaks. So we're watching out for them. Other than that, we're going to be bringing you complete, unadulterated coverage of tonight's event. Watching these guys as they continue to try to wrangle in the beast that is known as the Daytona road course. Right now, Sean Signori still up front. He is showing the way. Vincent Crow is going to be back. I'm telling you, I'm really digging that paint scheme there, Vincent. But I'm watching these two guys as they're coming down the backstretch, getting ready to go into what we would call the bus stop right here. This is going to be where a lot of guys are going to be having issues, but not these two. Well, they're making pretty good time of there. Nobody really having issues on the first lap. That's a great thing that we could talk about. We are starting to see some separation as the back of the field slowly starting to bring itself around. But the leaders right now, Bacon Zelenka, that's the story. I don't know what he did this week, but he did it well, and the new tire model doesn't seem to be affecting him at all.
Mm-hmm. That's right, and that might be affecting quite a few people here. Ooh, as Crow eats goes up and over the curb very hard.
You can say it. He ate Crow.
He ate Crow. He did. Up and over the curb. That's going to cost him a little bit of speed for sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
Man, that really upsets the car.
Oh, that rips the front end. You know, they're very well covered, but that front valance underneath there doesn't always do well once it goes over those turtle tops like that. So, yeah, but hopefully he'll be able to keep going. Oh, there he goes.
Race leader off the track.
I did actually get him a little swamp time in down there in Florida.
Yeah, Signori goes down 3 positions back to where he started this, actually in position 4 right now. Was our race leader, not anymore. Now that belongs to Kendall LeVron. Vincent Crow right behind him, but Signori's making the pass on Wyszynski. He's got him now on the inside, makes the pass going in. So he moves up a spot or 2. Sean Signori now in second, up from 4th very quickly.
Yeah, but I don't think he got a lot of opposition. They're looking like the 5 and the 24, just going to take their time riding around here tonight. No need to try to tear anything up this early on in the races. Plus, a lot of these guys probably hadn't put down a lot of practice laps. That, with the addition of the new tire model, that equals to a lot of cautious drivers out there.
That's right. That's fair. That's fair. That's what I'm expecting a little bit here, too.
Yeah, I was kind of hoping we would have had the field a little bit closer together, but yeah, being spaced out, that's fine. That's the reason why that stage break's going to bring them all back together. So we do have that to look forward to. So don't give up on your favorite driver just yet. There's still an opportunity for them to come out here and prevail.
It'll stay competitive thanks to things like that.
Absolutely. It's like I'm making no qualms whatsoever making the pass on Powell. Powell just, not even going to attest it really. Like I said, at this point, it's just really, there's too much going on the racetrack. Too many opportunities to make mistakes. So you really, if somebody has a rhythm, because that's another thing. We were talking about being consistent on all of those turns. It is about a rhythm. It's a race rhythm. And when you go in and you have a count and you're breathing and you know exactly, downshift, brake, it's so when something comes in there, just like there's the 5 car, that changes that. Oh, Kenny Powell chasing his own tail right there.
Eesh.
Whoa, almost made a new
he's on the track now
turn as well. Oh, look at Kenny. Man, he got his A license out there, Cracker Jack box that was passing around over there. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, he found it in the bottom of the box.
He just, went in a little bit too hard. Probably saw a great opportunity, and got caught up watching the guy in front of him. That's one problem that you have here, especially in road racing. You generally you can watch the guy's hips in front of you until you run right into him.
Yeah. Yep, just not the way you want this to go, unfortunately, if you're Kenny Powell.
Yeah, but, he didn't tear nothing up. Still going to live the race again. Just lost a couple of spots. Plenty of time to gain them back. Just don't panic. You gotta get back in that rhythm. It's like that song says, get rhythm. You get loose, come on, get rhythm. Yeah, like that. You got to get it. You got to get that race rhythm.
Well, let's see who's got it right now. It looks like it's Kendall LeBron out in the front who's got that race rhythm, and right behind him it's Sean Signori in second place. Signori very close to LeBron, so the two of them haven't yet separated yet. The third place position, I believe, is Bacon Zelenka. He's still close enough that he's within shouting distance of LeBron. So when these guys get off the oval, they really do stack up. Now we're back on the oval, though, and they have spread out. Ooh, that's going to be a bad slide for Signori.
Yeah, like I said, you have to make each one of those turns perfectly. Kenny Powell also finding himself in carnage way as he missed the bus stop.
Oof. That's 2 down. LeBron is now being chased down by Bacon Zelenka and Greg Wojcinski.
It just seems like yesterday we were watching little Bacon grow up back there racing against Kenny Powell. Now here he is actually getting ready to come up and make a legitimate pass for the lead. He is going to be a contender here.
Can he do it? Ooh, very close. On the outside, though, that's a tough place to make a pass here, especially on a road course, is to make that pass on the outside. You got to really be within their line of sight, basically alongside the car before you even go into the turn if you want to try that kind of move.
Yeah, Signori now, he's got his wheels back underneath him. Seems he's pulled in the right way. Right along with Vincent Crowe, as he actually has Signori in his sights. Remember, Signori actually went off-road and just a little bit back there. Actually, I think he went off the road twice in the same lap, losing that rhythm. Whoa,
LeBron.
He's going the wrong way.
Whoa. Very, very close. Wow, that could have been a much, much bigger wreck. Let's see what happens.
Right there in that area that I was just speaking about earlier, saying that a lot of guys have trouble going through the bus stops there through that chicane. And that's why
LeBron's take on it.
You see his car got a little bit out of, got a little discombobulated there when he went over that turtle curve. And then he didn't manage to throttle correctly. Big Al told y'all about this.
Oh, Big Al, you saw the future. Here's another angle of it right there. LeBron sideways, backwards. As we take you back to the present day.
Oh, the two cars, significant damage. He's going to be down on pit road. And that's how much of a fool he had. I'm not going to tell you all this, but there might be a little, fairy godmother back there behind that wall tonight helping these boys with their woes.
Sure seems like it.
There's Greg.
LeBron's back out now.
Greg's over there picking dandelions. Just a little tight there in the turn. And once the
LeBron
button
just lost
starts
control.
to go, yeah, that was Wachinski there.
What a wild part of the simulation.
There are a lot of drivers right now probably experiencing the bumps and the thumps. And definitely with the new tire model, they're assessing the situation, definitely getting a lot of seat time tonight. So if anything else, I'll definitely have an opinion about it.
Well, opinion's totally fair. We like it when people share those. Gives us stuff to talk about. Speaking of stuff to talk about, let's take a look at what's going on with some of these other cars. Right now, Bacon Zelenka is leading the pack with Kendall Lavron with Sean Signori behind. Signori's behind by 5 seconds.
Let's check the 88.
Oof. Come on, let's see what happens. He's in a tough spot. This is David Gervais. Oh no, this is not his course today.
And he was running right there with the 43. Those two guys were keeping pretty good pace with each other. But now that you kind of broke the band up, David's going to have to kind of get back out there and pace himself. And that's going to be critical because he's got the leaders, and they're actually going to be showing up in the same frame as him. And, he's not completely in danger of maybe going a lap down, but just way closer than I think we needed to be. Oh, look at that. Man.
Oh.
7 still sliding sideways. Yeah, I think we're going to get some feedback on the I think we're going to get some feedback tonight on this tire model.
This model. Yeah, I think we are. I haven't heard any chatter about it yet, but I think you're right. If you mention it, people will be like, "Oh yeah," and then you'll get a lot of talk about it. You're probably right.
Well, I guarantee you, with this many cars spinning out on a road course like this, because see, usually with the road course model, the tires never fell off. You were pretty much going to be able to run that 30th turn the same speed and vigor that you ran the first turn. You know what I mean? There was no degradation. Well, when you have this many guys having whoopsies around the track at just arbitrary points at different points on different laps, I think that's a handling issue, or that's just tires like not doing predictive behavior or throttle. When I say throttle, sorry, throttle control.
It's all right.
There was a point in there I was looking for. Bam!
Right
again,
now,
the 7's off.
Oof! Again.
Yeah. So I don't think they're running this on a fixed setup. I'm not sure. But
let's see again here. Here's the
It
replay.
is definitely going to be in need of some adjustments.
Okay, I caught up with that spin. Let's go back to live and see how everybody's doing.
As long as he doesn't get
88
frustrated.
is slipping and sliding like crazy.
Yeah, as long as he doesn't get frustrated, man, we're enjoying it.
We haven't had anybody drop yet. So far, everyone's having a good time.
Yeah, the 88 definitely being a lot more gingerly through the course there. Some of these guys almost look like they got their hands smacked. Don't be defeated, fellas. Come on, you could do it. I think the 2 car might have just had a little bit of a wobble there, but maybe not. I think he's good.
A little bit of a what now?
I thought he might have had a wobble.
A wobble?
It's like a wobble.
Oh,
It's
okay.
It's the second part of the wobble is the wobble.
The wobble. I gotcha. I think I understood it once you said that part. I was like, now everything makes perfect sense.
Yeah, sorry. If I'm not looking straight ahead, then I lose my words. You know, even though they're not written on the screen, I just can't find them if I'm looking to the side screen.
I understand completely, Miguel. It's all good. You're in good company there.
It's been an exciting race, though. We've definitely had no shortage of mishaps. I was watching the 29. I was watching Mr. Sanchez, the Dirty Sanchez. They practice him in the Funky Gold Medina. I was watching them two. Now they're out here tonight, just kind of real close to each other. And that's always good, you know?
Right next to each other in order at the very least, if not too close to each other in running wise. They're a second apart, about a half second. Or I should say a second and a half apart. That looks like it's more accurate.
Yeah.
But right now, we've got eyes on, I believe that is Fagan Zelenka. Yep, that's him.
He's also taking the white flag.
That's right. Because we're going to stop at 9. So he's got the white flag. As soon as we cross over into 9, we got 10 cars in, and then we're going to be done with stage 1.
And I'm going to tell you that could not have come soon enough for the 88 car, because he was definitely starting to be a factor. He was actually on the menu. So this is going to give him an opportunity at least to get back. This will tighten the field up. This will give guys an opportunity to come in, lick their wounds, assess the situations, let us know what they think. White flag out. 47 cross.
Whoop. Watching some more slipping and sliding here.
Look at these two.
Side by side right now. Yeah.
You would have thought it was a point on the line or something.
That was a proper drag race setup right there. Mark Sanchez. And then, running off now. The 88 of David Gervais again.
Now these two are going to be trying to get back because, I mean, Jose's got a shot right now. If he can get back up with Mark's in 4th place. That's a good night any way you look at it. And then there's the 19. He's coming back into the scene. If Mark holds his mouth right, he could get a chance to be all the way up here in 3rd place for the stage. Now he's going to be running down to 19. 19 can definitely feel these guys coming. They're not out of the water. There's a 48, 3 wide in a turn. Who you thought would say that at Daytona on a road course? It's supposed to be
not at the road course, at least.
Road course. 29 gets by though unscathed. He saw that 3rd place right there, man, and he could not shake it out of his mouth. The 48 still salivating. He is back there doing everything he can to try to reel in the 29. The pressure's great right here, man. I'm telling you, if we see this much excitement at the end of a stage break, can you imagine what's going to happen at the end of this thing when it actually we're racing for the cookies?
Yeah, I can barely imagine, my friend. The quality of the racing just goes up and up and up. Once you know there's cookies involved, it's just going to get better from there.
He just wants a cookie. Look at the 48. The 48 wants a cookie. He risked it for the biscuit. Came up a little wide. And a lot short. Now he's going to lose when he still got the 19. This could be a drag race. Watching these two guys come around, still plenty of racing left. This battle is not over yet. They still got a series of turns to negotiate. The 19 sees well, thinks about it. He checks up to put himself in a position to come in on the attack, going wide out now. 48 kind of loosens up a little bit, but the 19 thinks better of it. Not going to be able to run him down. 48's going to have himself a solid spot. And we're going to be watching all the way back to Kenny Powell. He is in that transfer spot right now, watching that 24 car, the 10th place car. Once he comes across the line, that is going to bring out that caution. And that's going to signal the end of stage one. Once that caution comes out, stage one is going to be in the books. Then we're going to take a step away. We're going to get a word from our sponsors, and we're going to be back. And when we come back, JoJo LaCosta is probably going to be talking to Bacon Zelenka.
Probably.
We'll
see if we can get him up here.
I'm just telling the future again. That's all I'm doing.
Well, that works for me. Yellow flag is out. That's going to be the end of stage one, folks. We're going to take a little break, and when we come back, Bacon Zelenka up in the booth with us. So stay tuned.
Woo! Papa John's just took their fresh, never frozen dough in hand, stretched it into thin, oversized New York-style slices. I mean, look at that crust. That is the perfect crust thickness no matter how you eat it. So you can fold it or not. But I ain't gonna lie though, I fold it. Get a New York-style pizza from Papa John's. Better ingredients, better pizza.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Hey folks, welcome back to the break between stages. We're going to be getting things kicked off again for stage 2 of tonight's race right here. We've got Bacon Zelenka though up in the booth real quick. Bacon, can you hear us?
Yes, we can. How are you guys doing?
Hey, we're doing real good, my friend. Congratulations on that stage 1 win.
Thank you, thank you.
So how are you feeling tonight? How are your prospects for later in this race? Are you feeling confident on this road course?
It's okay. I mean, this is the only special event I won. I won the Daytona 24 in second and third split a couple times, but it's completely different when you're stepping into a stock car. So I just hope I can use some track knowledge, but I've never ran the front chicane before tonight. Should have practiced, didn't know it was a thing. So we're just sort of going as we go.
Well, you seem to be doing just fine right now. Is anybody you want to shout out to or thank for your performance so far?
I want to thank my parents for letting me be on the sim, like a complete degenerate sometimes, and I got to thank Vincent for me in this league. And of course, Straight Out Racing.
All right, Bacon. Well, good luck with the rest of your race, my friend. We see you guys going around and getting ready to get started, so we'll leave you to it.
Thank you, thank you.
All right, folks. That was Bacon Zelenka, the stage 1 winner. Now he sounds pretty confident. Threw it out to his team and his folks, and now we've got him lined up on the front pole position yet again for him, with Jose Medina on the outside. Or looks like he's supposed to be on the outside. Let's see. We're on lap 12. We're only going to lap 15, so it's going to be like a 3-lap shootout practically.
Yeah, which is the reason why you saw a lot of the guys opt their strategy not to pit. Now, it's one of the things I was looking at, and you know, Kobe and Joe and I, we were talking during the break. You know, it's kind of like you got the option because that second stage is so fast. So for the guys that did stop the first time, don't expect to see them back down pit road. So that's going to allow some of those guys that are in the back going to shift that position a little bit because the leaders are going to have to pit, and it could potentially put them at the back of the field, which will be even more interesting because nobody really is showing up out here tonight dominating. There's not been one car that I could think of that I could say, man, he just came and just put on a dominant performance. Everybody has been dealing with their own share of struggles, and some of these are apparent that we're seeing out front directly. You know, where the rubber meets the road, and some of these things might be technical issues that are occurring behind the wall that we don't see. But everybody out here tonight is struggling a little bit. Even you, Joe. Even you.
Yeah, I can agree with that. Even me.
People probably wonder, man, Joe, how do you put up with this guy? Yeah, and I'm sorry, man. I just try to have fun, a little bit of fun, you know.
No, it's working for me, Big Al. Don't you worry about it, buddy. Oh, I thought these guys were at 1 to green. Apparently, we got 1 more to go here. Now we're gonna get things lined up, as I believe now the pace car's lights are off. There we go. That's true. We got 1 more long lap here, folks, before we get things kicked off for stage 2.
You know, for those guys that did come down, now they're dealing with the issue that they might have had at the beginning of this thing. And I'm checking my box times. Man, varies all sorts of times there in the box. Everything from a 5.2 to a 51.9. So if that's telling you anything, we really can't tell if people took 4 tires, 2 tires, or no tires.
Nope.
Yeah,
That's going to have to remain a mystery.
Inconclusive. The 5.2 to 8.1, I'm thinking those are fuel. The 5.2 is fuel. The 8.1, I'm thinking is right sides. The 13.3 is a full stop. I'm thinking that's 4 tires and a full can of gas. The 8.4 for Kenny Powell, I'm thinking that's damage and maybe fuel.
Okay.
Greg Wychinski 17.6. That's definitely damage. Then there's Mark Sanchez 23.8, and I'm gonna say that's damage as well.
Yeah, and I think that Sanchez was able to get back out. Everybody was just about able to get back out here. Sanchez down in 9th right now.
You know, as these points start to kind of go away, I don't know how many weeks we got left in the series, but guys definitely should be taking the opportunity of nights like tonight.
There they go. All right, now we're officially in the backstretch. Out of the noodly little middle section there. And I definitely need to get out and drive some of these road courses more myself to get some more experience behind the wheel, because, man, it is it's exciting stuff. I cut my teeth like most of us did driving the Formula V around road courses, and that was the most fun I had in this for a long time, was just driving the Formula V around a road course. It's totally fun, but sticking with that road course love, that's the tough part for me, is like remembering, all right, it's just a road course, red means nothing, just drive the best you can.
Everybody lined up, back at it, getting ready to go, back at it. Pace car's leading us through just a couple more turns, and he'll be out the way, and we'll be back at it. Did I say back at it?
Here we go. The second bus stop. Chicane. What is that? Bus stop or chicane? I don't know. Second bus stop. Here comes the restart zone. And there's the restart. A little bit late in the zone, but what a restart, too. Bacon Zelenka out in front with Sean Signori and Jose Medina. Ooh, going a little wide, though. It's Medina. Medina's super wide. Losing some spots after spot after spot. Just trying to find a spot who's to call his own. But he's not going to be able to until very late into this race. Now he is just a little bit ahead of Greg Wychinski. Moving on up to look at the front of the field here, Bacon Zelenka. Holding things down very, very well at the front once again, forming a little bit of a gap.
49, took the 5 out.
Oh, yeah? Let's see that.
48 spinning.
Let's see here. Is this the replay? Yep, let's watch it. Oh, wow. He really button hooked him good, didn't he? But then the 5 came back and got him on the rebound. Just drove it in a little too deep on him. That's not going to be a move easily forgotten.
Yeah, definitely. That's going to leave, that's going to leave some scars. Tattoos and scars are different things. Greg's not going to forget that too much. This guy's still going at it pretty hard here. Pretty intent for this being the second and shortest stage of the night. Not going to take a whole lot of time to get this one done.
Yep. Got some blinking going on here. That's Jay Hone. In and out of existence. In and out. But anyways, we'll reground ourselves and take a look at the 19 car. Who we've seen moving all over the field. That's Jay Hone, excuse me.
Yeah, I think
and the engine car is just not quite having it.
I think he's aware of his situation there, and he's just trying to get out of the way for the most part so these guys can get around him. You know, as you see, he takes that inside deep there, not trying to impede these guys because obviously with the new system, he's aware of the fact that he is actually having connectivity issues. And we'll see how that works out. Sanchez actually giving him plenty of room. And just like that, we're spread out all over again.
There's the infield crowd. Everybody watching here. Bacon Zelenka going around. Lap 15, folks. This is going to be the white flag, I think.
Yep, white flag's out.
Yes, sir. So this is going to probably be it when he crosses the line.
Yep, waiting on that 10th place car to cross.
Yeah, exactly. I was going to ask you that exact question. Do they just adjust it to 10th, or do they tell everybody to fight faster?
These two got side by side trying to figure it out. The 7 car is going to take a shortcut. He's going to get penalized for that, so obviously that move's not going to count. Ooh, got a car around there in the bus stop.
Ooh, that's not good.
Looks like Kenny Powell. Ah. Yep, that's that Powell car. Looks like he actually missed significant damage. Caution's out. That's going to put stage 2 in the books. Bacon Zelenka once again takes the crown. Sean Signore comes in second. Vincent Crow third. 4th place, Kendall LeBron. 5th place, Jose Medina. 6th place, Jay Hone. Mark Sanchez. 7th, 8th place, Greg Wachinski. 9th place, Jeremy Clapper. Noel Kenny Powell rounds out the top 10. We'll take another step away, get caught up with our sponsors, and we'll be back with the last and final stage.
Good call.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Woo! Papa John's just took their fresh, never frozen dough and hand stretched it into thin, oversized New York-style slices. I mean, look at that crust! That is the perfect crust thickness no matter how you eat it. So you can fold it, or not. But I ain't gonna lie though, I fold it. Get a New York-style pizza from Papa John's. Better ingredients, better pizza.
Hey, folks, we are back with more of the ISCA Super Cup Series. It's me, Joe LaCastro, with Big Al and Kobe Jordan. Big Al is going to take it away, though, with an interview right now with Kendall LeVron, I believe. Take it away, Big Al.
Hey, Kendall LeVron, this Big Al up in the booth. You got me?
Yes, sir. Got a copy.
I'm going to let you finish your pit stop here.
Oh, just getting out.
So, man, I gotta know. Inquiring minds want to know. You were up front of this thing, actually led, a couple pretty good laps there, and then you kind of ran into some problems. How's the new tire model affecting you guys? Can you tell any difference at all?
Yeah, there's a big difference. It feels more like I'm actually racing on a road course compared to the old tire model, where it's more like you can stay on a set of tires the entire race without changing them. This one, I believe you got to change them. So I went and put 4 new tires on, because with new tires you are gonna be. I am a second faster with newer tires. I can see
I bet that's something. I imagine that's something that's pretty welcomed here amongst this committee when it comes to road courses, an actual tire, right?
Yeah. I've been practicing for about a week, so it's actually been pretty fun. And honestly, it feels like they took the training. It's not just the tire model; it's the physics of the car too. It feels like they took the training wheels off of this car compared to what it used to be.
That's an awesome description of it. It feels like they took the training wheels off. I don't think we could have found that from anybody else, and we could actually bottle that quote and sell it, man. So I'm glad that's awesome to get that you're actually getting feedback down there. And we were wondering what was happening, because at first lap we were seeing people that were, going through different phases of the struggle. Guys weren't actually able to just keep it straight and running good.
Yeah,
so
you can't overdrive this car anymore. If you overdrive this car, you will get yeeted into the wall, and that's what happened to me when I took the lead. But it's the bus stop, for some reason with this setup, is kind of still bumpy. It feels like I'm hopping around like a jackrabbit until I hit the turtle, and the car does not like hitting these turtles. The moment you touch it, a slight touch with the wheel, you're getting sent.
Wow. It's definitely been exciting to watch, man. Can't wait to see how you pull this thing off here at the end of it. Going to be excited to watch the last stage. Who you shouting out here tonight, though, for your overall performance in tonight's race?
Honestly, even though it's an old team of mine, Team Watson Racing, I do appreciate what they did for me for the past 4 to 5 years. I'm no longer part of them anymore, because it was a decision I had to make that I've been thinking about since December. But I'm going to shout out to CFM. They put out a good setup this week, and we did a lot of trials and errors with the new car, physics of the car, and the new tire model. The guys at CFM that built the setup put a lot of work in.
Well, definitely, man. Good shout out to those guys. Good to see you. Congratulations again for doing so well. Hopefully we'll see you at the podium on the end of this thing, man, and good luck to you.
10-4, man. Gonna try. I'm not a good road course guy, though. If it was dirt, it would be a different story.
Right. Well, some guys are getting a dirt experience down there from what we can see up here.
I hear that.
Roger, good night. That was Kendall LeVron, ladies and gentlemen, is in that 2 Toyota right there watching, and was just checking in with him, Joe. And it's, I'm surprised to hear what he said, but I'm elated to hear what he said. Does that make sense?
Yeah, surprised but elated. I think that those can go together.
Yeah, that is awesome. Because this is what, honestly, that is the one prayer I think that everybody that has driven one of these cars on a road course has kind of asked for. We just wanted the car to feel more real. Yeah.
Yep, and now it
does. That's the key to
does.
simulation. You got to try to make it feel as real as the real thing.
As real as it can get. It's some people will say it's a game. I always reply, no, sir, it's a simulator.
Play games.
It's right. It is not a game. It is a simulator, and that is an important distinction here. That we take the experience within iRacing very, very seriously, and so do the developers. They create one of the most in-depth simulations I've ever experienced in my life, at least. And getting a chance to use something that is pretty much the pro amateur yardstick for simulators is really, really exciting. Being able to get your hands on software like this.
And then you hear a lot of people say, well, they're 50-year-old men playing video games. Well, no. See, we're 50-year-old men who played video games. And then when we got to become real men, we got real video games. You know what I mean? I could not have afforded to do this when I was a child. That's for sure. My hobby is far more than that of child's play. Yeah,
this is the model train building of hobbies. This is in terms of the hobbies like model train building. It's the same kind of time investment, same kind of money investment, and the knowledge that you gain and the scope of the project is so much greater than just playing with trains or playing with cars, playing the car game. It's a lot more. It's a bit of a lifestyle to get a rig set up and to use it on a regular basis, and to get out here on a weekly basis and say, hey, I don't have a weekly poker game. I got a weekly race.
I never thought about it like that. I don't have a weekly poker game, but I do have weekly races.
Yep. Some guys got weekly poker games. Some guys got weekly tennis matches, weekly tea time. And there's a lot of guys out there, at least of several tens of thousands on a nightly level who have all got an interest in racing at the highest level and simulating the races across the world at the highest level. And getting this kind of software, I'm flabbergasted. Usually it would cost you thousands to get this kind of stuff and to be able to use it and train with it. But here we are subscribing to it for a nominal amount, and we get to race alongside some of the actual greats of the leagues themselves, of the actual racing leagues themselves. It's really impressive stuff.
And the connectivity piece. That's the last thing I'm going to say. Got the restart zone. The 7's off and away. Vincent Crow, 47, sorry. Wasting no time getting it going. Remember, he was the only one that actually stayed out during that last caution sequence, trying to get into turn one, watching to see who's going to overdrive it. So far, 3 wide, but everything seems to be checking out. Don't see anybody in the gravel just yet. Man, that's awesome. If we can make it through 1 through 3.
Wachinski.
There goes the car. There goes Wachinski down and away. Both of his tires are still pointing in the right direction. That's a good sign.
Yep. He's still pointing in the right direction, but he was doing it from the grass, so that's not where he wants to be, unfortunately. Almost immediately, we're getting some spread here from the guys in the field. Crow getting chased down by Jose Medina. Medina driving hard into that turn. A little bit too hard, though, as he has to bite the brakes a little bit harder than he probably wanted to. Loses some momentum. Still trying to chase down Crow. We'll get back to the live camera here and just give you the update on this battle here. Sean Signori on the outside right now of Kenny Powell.
Powell loose. We're just experiencing an overly loose condition there. Yeah, the whoopsies. Now he's got to dial back in, chasing that 19. That 19 car has been a little bit all over the place tonight, so glad to see him keeping it in the straight and narrows. Watching him run. Now, I'm not saying anything bad to Jay Honey. I'm just saying that, look, a lot of guys have been experiencing this new handling model, and it's been a handful that we can attest that from just sitting up here. Big whoops right there. Trouble. Got a car smoking.
Kendall
That's
LeBron.
going to be none other than Kendall LeBron again, coming through that same place, what he was talking about, coming right through the bus stop, hitting those turtles. That car gets it. Once those back tires get in that hop, they do not settle easily. He went from leading this thing, coming right in, you see him. It's going to be that second set right there, and the same identical thing happened to him almost the first time. But look, at least that time, he was actually able to keep it off the wall. No owies on that Toyota right now. I think he can get her back out there. Still plenty of racing left. We're just halfway through this thing. 21 of 41.
Those hurdles are really killing some people's momentum. LeBron was just on the driver radio mentioning his love for the hurdles. Sarcasm, of course. He was not happy with them. Apparently, these changes, these hurdles, are really surprising some drivers with how much they upset the car. And to that, I say, well, part of the game of racing, and part of the game of these racetracks is there are designed areas of the track where you clearly are encouraged to drive just a little bit off track to get a better racing line. But if you're encouraged to drive a little bit off track, you're still driving off track. There is a risk there that you are going to assess with that racing line.
Well, those turtles were put there, and they are real. We got another car that's going to be down on the infield right there. I'm looking to see exactly who that is. I think that's the 19 car. Again, Jay Hone, he has been struggling, like I said, for a lot of part of this, that new Hamlin thing. But to your point, I don't even remember what we were talking about.
That's all right. That's all right, Big Al. I'm watching the race too, trying to watch these guys avoid these crazy spins. But we were talking about Kendall LeBron losing control.
I know what we're talking about. We're talking about how these turtles upset those cars. Well, that's what happens to the real cars every weekend when they go to tracks like Daytona, when they go to Indy, to the road course. They run in and they experience this, and they've had to actually make real world adjustments for this. Now we're officially halfway through this thing now. Yeah, so there's not going to be any different down here with these guys. Man, I don't know what car that was, but he went wide around the outside.
That was Medina. Jose. Yes, sir. Here's Kenny now with Jay Hone nearby. Hone trying to shoot for the inside.
And Hone, here he is. He's got his car straight, pointed back the right way. Now he wants to go back and gain all of those spots that he lost. Well, the problem is with that, Kenny's having his own struggles right here, and you just can't fight your way through it all the time. Sometimes you got to be patient as well. Because if you're not, you know what's going to happen? You're going to see that guy go by you again from a very weird angle. You're going to be sitting at a weird angle watching cars go by you saying, wait, if we're in the same race, why are we not pointed the same way?
Oh, that's not good. One of you is in a bad situation if that's what you're seeing. And it's probably you.
That's right. Those stupid human tricks we're talking about. And I've seen people make race cars do some stupid stuff also. Great racing though tonight, and the challenging part of it is made it that much more exciting because we're actually not watching drivers just battle against themselves and the elements, but they're actually having to physically handle a car tonight that is not just so much as point and shoot as it has been in the past.
That's true. This is not as much. Oh, down to the inside goes Gervais.
If he keep doing what he's doing, I'm gonna quit calling him the gerbil and start calling him the mole.
The mole. That's a good one. The mole.
Yeah.
The gopher.
I'm doing a lot of digging out there. I mean,
man,
does he hate grass?
Either he hates grass or he hates the brake pedal. You just see that he got on the brake so late, and he lifts there and then just goes flying in. I don't think he uses the brake at all. He just lifts and slides right through the center there.
And he was in the Army too, so I think that's his way of saying he's flipping me off while he goes through the grass like that. Oh, Kenny Powell's sideways back just in time to see that.
Oop, careful, Kenny. You want to get out of there?
Another grass killer.
Yeah, don't want to be stuck that way, though, pulling in and out of traffic. That's really dangerous. Thankfully, he was able to avoid having to worry about that for too long. As here's the footage, Kenny Powell putting it perfectly sideways.
That was the replay. Don't get excited.
No, it's all good. I'm staying on top of my realities here.
Oh, no, I was talking to me. Sorry. I said that out loud.
That's okay. I got you back there, Big Al, and now we got Kenny Powell.
So who knew all this time there were actually 4 of us in the booth. David Gervais still behind the wall there, the 88 car, not sure what's going on. Think he's probably thinking better of his conquest here this evening. Might want to invest his time other ways. Maybe we'll see. Hopefully he'll get back out there, though. Because if he doesn't, right now Paul Osen and David Gervais are the only 2 guys that are actually out of this thing officially. We still got 18 laps to go. A lot of racing to continue, man. And I'm telling you what, Daytona, it just lets me know that the night race is that much closer, right?
Yep, the night race is coming up. Do we know about how many weeks away that is?
Nope. I do not
I guess
know.
we'll have to find out
But
later.
we got a guy behind the scenes back there that might be able to tell us when the Daytona night race is. He doesn't know.
Well, that's okay. We'll see later. But that is coming up, folks. We got a Daytona night race. I always love a good race at Daytona where we can just really open it up, and a night race is going to be an even more fun place to do that. Eyes on a couple different cars here as we got still a few battles going on, as we've mentioned. Whoa! Little bit of action there for Jay Hone. Let's see what happened to him. Whew! Up and around, and he just gets completely around. Yep.
That throttle control, that's what we're talking about. You got to keep your foot almost like you got an egg underneath there. You got to roll it. You got to be very gentle and methodical about it. Still struggling again. And, it's the 23rd of August. So that it'll be, 5 days before that is when we'll be at Daytona for the night race. So pretty excited. That's still coming up. Couple months gives us something to look forward to.
Yes, sir. Something to look forward to indeed. Here we are on lap 24. Got eyes on a few different cars here. A beat-up Jay Hone is still going around. Out in the front with Boss Haas Cycles, it's Vincent Crow.
Yes, this thing seems to have broken itself up now, and instead of being like, oh, there's another big whoops going on. Another car sliding across, that's the 49, Jose Medina.
Yeah, these big whoopsies are going to guys are driving themselves out of the race more often than not. We only had one incident, I think that was because of car contact. Just about everything else has been fellas over driving themselves.
I love it. I love it. Total new dimension of reality.
Whoa! That was an amazing slide on that replay here from Jeremy Clapper Newell. Slid right through the bus stop and almost caught another car twice with this slide. That's Vincent Crow. He almost caught. Not Vincent Crow. That's Greg Wyszynski that he almost caught twice.
Yeah, it's got to be scary seeing that guy in your rearview mirror twice.
You see him in your rearview mirror, and then you look back, and he's gone, and you wonder, where did he go? Oh, nope, he's on my right, and he's about to crash into me.
Yeah, it's something like a shark.
Yep, at that point, you just keep driving your line and hope to God he doesn't hit you. What else can you do?
Pray.
Not much. Yeah, pray. Yeah, start getting religious.
Pray
Buddha, Allah, God, take your pick.
That's what my mama say. Pray every day. Yeah, just still watching the board, man, waiting on the next incident to unfold. Guys keeping us busy tonight, keeping Kobe real busy downstairs. We've been like shuffling through camera angles, like I don't know, like what.
Yeah. We've been doing a lot of shuffling around, but you know what? You use a lot of great angles at which to catch this track.
Yeah, definitely. A lot of excitement going on all over the track, to be exact. Not all congregated in one location. Got another car off the road right there.
One thing I love about road courses. I love a good road course because I love being able to showcase some of the beautiful machines that we got, and the road course with the NASCARs on it, NASCAR cars on the road course is a perfect combination.
Yeah, that's like America. Heck yeah.
Sounds like we've got something coming up, an event coming up, the Bathurst Clash. Can you tell us a little bit about that, Big Al? You know anything about it?
The Bathurst Clash is that when we take the fellas from down under and we put them against the ISCA. So I think that's the Supercar League guys. Last year we did it at let me remember this. It's Bathurst. Yeah, December last year we actually got together. That was the first actual race. So this is going to be the second. This event is actually going to become I think they're trying to get it biannual. So what's ultimately going to take place is I believe the Kiwis and the Aussies against the Americans. And so this time I believe the Americans pick the track and the car, and then it rotates. So that is the
that's fun.
First Clash. Not sure exactly the dates on that. But yeah,
that's pretty exciting.
Pretty exciting event. Surprising. You're taking two different guys, who have strong suits, driving their own tracks in their own prospective series, and you're putting them in a unknown car on a relatively unknown neutral track. So
you never know what's going to happen.
Yeah, you throw a little money in there, and you got yourself the makings of a world war.
Ooh, you got yourself a stew.
Yeah.
The winner gets a butt kicker, too, from what I just learned.
Yeah, the winner gets a butt kicker.
It almost sounds like something you don't want to win, but in iRacing, that's a good thing. You want a butt kicker. That's good.
Yeah. For whatever reason, mine had been on for the last couple of weeks while I've been calling races. But I'm like, okay, that's just kind of weird just sitting here, But yeah, man, I love my butt kicker. Butt kicker is it's the computer powered butt kicker. That sequence. I won't do one.
I still have yet to get one.
Man, you got to start living right, Joe.
You know what? You're right. I got it all.
You got to start living
Except
right.
for that. I got a nice wheel, got good pedals, got a good frame. Whoa, wide there. Quick wide shot of Jose Medina going way out of the track for a second.
No,
as he chases down Sean Signori.
I was saying you could live better. Like you could.
I think
better.
You're right.
You should give more. Like, hey, I'll send you my PayPal.
I see. I need to be more generous to use specifically to demonstrate.
Well, I'm not saying to me, but you don't know all of these other people, so you could just start with me.
Start with someone I trust.
You know me, but you don't know me.
That's fair. That's fair.
You don't know my struggle.
No.
You don't know.
I got my own, Big Al.
Just kidding, man. This thing is still rolling away here. 14 laps to go. Now remember, that's about the length of the first two stages right there, combined. If you think about it.
Yeah.
So now these guys are going to be entering into, unknown territory. Are you going to be able to swag this thing and make it the whole way? Or are the tires going to be such an issue in a condition that you're actually going to come down and get a little reprieval?
Well, we heard that cold tires are fast tires here, so let's hope that that's the case.
Yeah, I don't know, but if there's a second of fall off there, and we'll start watching this a lot more closer now that it's actually been brought to our attention. but I'm looking at everybody on the racetrack, and I'm looking at their best laps versus I'm looking at their last laps versus their best laps. And there's over a second fall off. Sean Signori, he has a second fall off. Now remember, Signori had the best lap thus far in the race, and his last lap was the best lap. So he had a 153.891 versus his last lap, which is a 154.841, which is definitely a second off. And that is with 11 laps on his tires.
Gotcha.
Yeah, so we got bigger problems right there.
Sounds like he's got bigger problems indeed.
Well,
Back to live here. We've got some folks with big problems right now. Little battle for the lead here, heating up between Vincent Crowe and Bacon Zelenka.
This is
Zelenka
the best
back
time
on
to
the
do it
outside.
right here. Zelenka actually has the advantage going down the backstretch here. It is a true backstretch. Now, how he sets himself up to enter and exit the dog leg, the bus stop, that's going to be the key. Because he is sitting like a vulture right now. He has that perch. So right there on the brakes, he's high on his haunches. He comes in, following the line just like the shark on the grill of that Ford. He's watching him. Now, he couldn't get it done now. He's going to have one more opportunity as they come down through the chicane. This front chicane here, you'll still watch that same kind of energy coming high off the wall there. So be dragging it down, trying to set it up, trying to get the easiest way around. He's not going to get the drive off that he wants. So that battle for the lead is going to have to continue, apparently, there for maybe another lap or two. But those are the perfect opportunities where you're going to see when those passes are going to come. You're going to set them up, and you're going to see he's just going to dive right down through them.
And it looks like he's trying right now to get a good position to make that pass. Bacon Zelenka has been a great driver so far tonight. He's won 2 stages out of 3 that we've had. Yeah. And right now he's looking to try to get ahead to win stage 3.
Yeah, it's the art of the pass. That's what he's got to master right now. Because it's easy when you're out front to stay out front. That's probably going to be that's easier than trying to get out in front. If that makes sense. Like we always say, it's one thing to catch a guy, something totally different to pass him.
Yeah, it's very true. If Bacon Zelenka can do the totally different part of that, get the pass done, it means that Vincent Crowe is going to have to work twice as hard to get it back by the time that the race is already going to be winding down. We've got about 12 laps left in total in tonight's race, so it seems like a short amount of time, but it's going to be it seems like a long amount of time, but it's going to be a much shorter amount of time in practice than these guys think that they have. So Bacon, if you're listening, you've got to close that gap and try to get in front of Vincent as best you can here. Here's bus stop 1 of 2, and then they're going to both be able to open it up nice and wide. Let's see who's got the better exit. It looks like Crowe has got the momentum on that exit. Good distance from him right now, and Zelenka is not going to be able to catch up until they get to the next bus stop.
And, that's what I was saying. It's unfortunately for Zelenka,
onto the track, getting himself. Bacon Zelenka onto the track, getting himself. Bacon Zelenka still out on the track. Vincent Crowe is getting back out onto the track.
So now, remember when I told you when we were looking specifically at Vincent Crowe because he had the best and he had the last that were the fastest, right? Well, I didn't get to the rest of the field. Was watching your replay here, 29 of Sanchez. He's going to do something that, yep, there he is. You can't hit those turtles, man. It's a turtle head poking out. That lets you know something for a reason.
Yeah, little warning.
Go smashing turtle heads, but it doesn't work like that.
No, sir. No, sir. So, nobody wants to smash that.
Yeah, so we were talking specifically about Bacon, but we didn't talk about the rest of the field. Let's take Kenny Powell. Powell, well, he's still about a second off of his best lap time. Sanchez, 5 seconds off. Kendall LeVon, 2 seconds. Jose Medina, 10 seconds. 10 laps to go. 10 laps to go. We're seeing a lot of different numbers there where normally that number would be less than a second of fall off that we would see. Now those numbers are actually up there. They're substantial. They're numbers that you actually have to look at, that you actually have to take an action on. So with 10 laps to go and you're watching your guys' numbers, if those numbers continue to go down, you got to throw something at it, right? If you ain't got a part to throw at it, you throw a set of tires on it, and at least that'll kind of keep it from crying as loud. But 10 laps to go, you definitely want to get something underneath you that's going to be competitive. It's going to give you a shot at this thing.
And who's got that right now but Bacon Zelenka, who's driving out right now with an 8.5 second lead over Sean Signori.
Yeah,
and that lead looks like it's holding steady.
Yeah, Signori had the fastest lap time that last lap time, though. So that's something else that we're going to be watching. But, man, outside of these two guys busting a buck up 55, there's nobody else that's even clear to that. You got a buck 56, 257s, and everything else is a 9 or better. So there's a lot of fall off out there. And I'm just sitting here watching pit road now because we're definitely going to start to see drivers come in because it's one of those things, too, where it's a road course. So you need to go ahead and come in sooner than later. You don't want to find yourself out there pitting on a road course with 5 to go. That's not going to give you an opportunity. Excuse me. That's not going to give you an opportunity to get that back. Man. Reflux. The struggle's real.
Yeah, it's all right. I've been there too, my friend. Here's Sean Signori right now. Eyes on him as he tries to make up some speed going through the bus stop here. It's bus stop number 2. I'll figure out what the actual name of that turn is at some point, but I think bus stop number 2 is good.
It's the front
chicane. Thank you.
Sir, it's the front chicane.
I will make sure I get that right. The front chicane and the back chicane.
The back one was actually called the bus stop.
The back one's the bus stop and the front one's the front chicane. I got that. I'll make sure I got it right now. About time when I'm at lap 33, right?
I didn't know you were struggling with it, my man.
No, I was just making it up as I go, Big Al. It's usually what I do. Fake it till I make it, but I figured I might as well ask on the air what to call those things and make sure the audience knows that I'm just as unclear as I sound.
Hey, look, man, I didn't know what they were till 2 seconds. I don't know. I remember there was a time that I didn't know what they were.
Ooh, some loose driving. A big spin from Bacon Zelenka. Almost loses control, actually, up here at the front. Are his tires finally sweating it out too much here?
I think, he just came back off the box there. Another car kind of crazy there into the chicanes. And then we got another car around in the turn there. Turn 3 looks like. You got a lot of action going on around the racetrack. But I think right now he's getting his tires heated back up because he's got freshies. So he's going to be wanting to find that balance that Vincent was talking about. That fine line where you can't overdrive these cars. If you do, you're going to find yourself in a situation.
Yeah, did you just see the oscillation off of those bumps that Bacon Zelenka just went through? His car was just rocking back and forth. It was like watching a motorcycle at speed, losing control over its front wheel. Watch this here. He eats that bump and then starts ba-bump, 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 ba-bump. Look at that. When this car is a rocking, don't come a knocking.
Man, just think that type of suspension work right there lets you know exactly what the driver's feeling inside the car. When you can actually see the tires go over the bumps like that unsettling, and know how many people we've had to actually lose control over the cars tonight. You put all those things together, and it really makes for a true-to-life simulation. So guys got their hands full down there. With 8 laps to go, I don't know if we're going to see any takers on pit road. We're getting late in the evening.
It's getting there. Time marches on.
Time marches on. Time marches on.
Lap 34 of 41 here now is beautiful. Beautiful rendition. As we get through to lap 34, it's about to start. Who is that there? That is the 29 machine of Mark Sanchez, who just crossed the line going into turn 1.
Man, yeah, Mark's kind of hanging.
Yeah.
Go ahead now.
How's he been doing tonight?
Mark's, he's kind of hanging towards the back of the pack. They're still in 6th place overall, so not a bad showing for the guys, but I know that he wishes that car would have been a little bit more cooperative. Like I said, I was watching Mark during qualifying, and those guys they definitely had their hands full, so I didn't want to actually go and press, but watching them tonight, it seems to have that pony wrangled a little better now, but I think it probably could have came maybe 20 laps sooner for him.
And clicking through the field right now, just trying to see if there are any battles that are playing out. Nope, everyone is very spread out. There are no one-on-one situations anymore that are happening along the lines here.
Everybody out here
Looks
is
like
kung fu fighting.
Yeah, everyone.
They're doing pedal dances.
They are kung fu fighting themselves. It looks like a lot of shadow boxing going on right now. With all these guys out here sort of trying to outrace themselves and make up as much time as they possibly can, but the gaps are very sizable between all of our racers right now. There's not really a tight gap anywhere on the field that it looks like it's going to get made up within the next 6.5 laps, as we've got Bacon Zelenka out in front by about 8 seconds on Sean Signori. So the only thing that would really close that gap up would be a pretty significant error on Bacon's part. And we've seen him slide. We've seen him spin a little bit. So we know that there is a little bit of anxiety behind that gas pedal that could lead the car to an unfavorable position and could give up that 7-second gap to Sean Signori pretty quickly. So all it would take is Bacon putting the car sideways.
Yeah, I think he's got bigger problems too. He's got Vincent Crow. Crow just came down and pitted now, so he's got the freshest tires, and his tires are better than theirs by 12 laps. That's a huge amount of difference, and he doesn't have that much real estate to eat up, and him being as fast per lap as he is over the rest of those guys, that's one thing that we might just have to watch.
Yeah, I think you're right. There's Wachinski now, a little bit off track, I believe. He got black flagged. I'm wondering why.
Probably for incidents. It's a drive-through for incidents, I guarantee you.
That would make sense. Just he gets the first one. Ooh, Bacon Zelenka is sideways. Zelenka is sideways right now. He's lost control out in the front. He's getting back over the bumps, back out onto the lead. He's lost all of his speed. Here comes Signori. He's going to sail by Zelenka right at the line. Lap 36 becomes lap 37 any minute now. Oh, excuse me, we're on lap 36, and that is going to create a battle for the lead.
And unfortunately for those two guys, now that they're going to be sitting right in each other's lap, I mean, you just put the wolf in the chicken house. Vincent Crow's back here on freshies, and all he has got between these guys is there an opportunity. And I was watching Bacon do that exact same thing, because from the view that I got, I can see the tires lock up. And I've been seeing his tires lock up, so that's leading me to believe that maybe he's having an issue with his brake buys, and he's not actually getting the stop that he needs, and that car is causing it to over-rotate.
Well, he's almost over-rotated just there.
Wachinski.
Oh, yeah?
Indeed. So Greg's coming out with fresh tires.
We almost had some over-rotation there. Bacon still sliding, still spinning as we get up into the 3 and 4 here. He's still having some trouble controlling that car, especially out on the exits of some of these turns where the gas is coming back on. The car just wants to get out from under him.
With 18 laps on his equipment, I mean, I think he's getting about what he bargains for. Those tires aren't going to suddenly fix themselves. The car's not going to start handling better. Okay, like my buddy Donald Rumsfeld said, you go to war with the army you got, not the one you want, and he's got to finish this race with the tires he's got.
That's right. And every time he goes through those bumps, it looks like it takes so much out of him right now, and all that speed gets lost. Anything he builds up gets burnt right back down. Ooh, contact between him and Sean Signori. Hard shunt from Signori into the back of the 45, but he was on the brake. He wasn't really going to take that energy transfer very well, and it didn't cost him anything, but there was some definite contact there.
Yeah, Signori, he understands one thing, that right now Bacon is hanging on for his life. His tires are screaming every turn. You can see this car getting a little bit more out of shape. So Sean can smell that. They can smell the burnt rubber in the air, I guess you could say, instead of the blood in the water. But when he smells it, now he knows, and he's going to close the distance, and he is going to keep applying firm pressure.
Yes, he is.
And there he goes himself into the grass. Another grass hater.
That's not good. Signori falling off very hard right now. Into the grass he goes as the gap is now increasing.
47's around of Vincent Crow.
The 47's around. Signori's around. Everybody's going around now.
Yeah.
Here we are back live. A little bit of a blink out of Signori. He's got a little bit of trouble with his connection, I think, here. Here we have eyes on the situation, though. Let's see what happened with him when he ran off the track a little bit. Close on the inside. Very, very tight, but then he just overdrives it. Into the grass he goes.
Grass killer.
Grass killer.
And even had more trouble getting it back straight again, which has allowed Bacon Zelenka to get the breathing room that he needed. And he is now back out and establishing himself on the drive-off. Vince Crow didn't do any help for himself as he actually subsequently lost control of his vehicle, and that's going to cost him to fall back quite a few spots. He's actually going to go all the way back to 4th. That's what we're going to be watching right now. Sorry about that. He's in 5th. Lost more. Jay Hone still off the racetrack. Jay Hone gets the off-road award tonight. He has actually literally been off the track more. He's been on it. More problems as we got the 7 hard down into the wall. That right there is going to signify help. If he is not flashing a medical emergency card right there, I don't know what to tell him. That was a wabonkel. A lot to keep going up, but to keep up with here, man.
Yeah,
these tires are screaming.
There is a lot to keep up with that is going on. It's a good way to put it. Ooh, big slide. Oh, man.
I called that
Signori just not able to keep the car on the ground. Gotta slide it.
And you know, you gotta wonder if it's the tires. Kenny Powell having whoops right now. They're the 24 car.
Kenny's around. Yeah, let's see what happened to Kenny now. Kenny's sitting 7th place. Coming through turns 1 and 2, I believe.
Once again, throttle. Those tires are burned out. You know, these guys they're not usually experiencing this on a road course. These tires, they would hold up. You know, you would stop for gas, but nobody would even be thinking about fuel. But right now, guys they're really going to have to think, man, are the tires making that big of a difference? Is it enough for me to actually stop? We saw the 5 come down. I'm still watching the bird's eye, seeing, you know, who steps on what when.
Yeah.
Who was that?
Looks Wachinski.
Yeah, Greg did actually come down for a drive-through. Sorry about that. He did not take tires. So, and we're seeing that now, especially on his times.
Very, very fast move. Yeah, very fast move through the front chicane here. Here comes Bacon through the front chicane. He's got a much more conservative line with these chicanes now, with that chicane and with the bus stop. He does not want to risk upsetting the car's balance. He does not want to risk starting that oscillation again or losing grip. So he hasn't driven over those bumps once in the last 5 laps. He's barely driven off the track. Really impressive.
Seconds. That's his fall off. The 5's done again. He's down around in the bus stop, looks like. There's 19. He's off again.
Yep, Hone's off
around
again.
Turn 3. Grass killer.
Here we go. Let's go over to Greg Wachinski, see what happened here.
See him out here. Trying to catch a bus.
Slides right through.
Yeah.
Ooh, bad, ugly spot to be in. Got to do a full turnaround there. And we're back live with Bacon Zelenka. We've only got 3 laps to go in tonight's race, folks. And he's taking it through 3 and 4 right now, getting set up for those 2 in the back. through 1 and 2, excuse me, getting set up for the stretch in the back. Here comes the bus stop for Bacon Zelenka. Can he hold on? He's been using that off track a little bit still, trying to keep the speed up to stay ahead of Sean Signori, but still being way more conservative back there than he has been all race so far. Now he's down to the inside in 3 and 4. He's got a little lap traffic ahead of him, which I don't think is going to cause any trouble at all between now and the end of the race, most likely. I mean, if he keeps this pace up, we'll see, but the lap traffic ahead of him is not really going to be too much of a big deal, I think.
Man, come on, don't say that. Who is that anyway?
Why not?
That's my man. That's 40. That's the 49.
Well, he's doing fine so far. I'm just saying that Bacon's not going to catch him anytime soon.
That's Jeremy Clapper-Newell.
Oh, Clapper-Newell just drove off the track, so Bacon Bacon makes the pass and puts Clapper-Newell down the lap. Unfortunately,
he's got himself a highlight reel to go back and watch tonight. Definitely going to see get some great drift pics of that car tonight.
Yes, sir. You better believe it.
2 to go here, and it is a legit 2 to go, man. And Bacon has got to do one thing right now, and that's he's just got to keep driving the car. 2 seconds faster
keep it straight
than his previous lap, but 2 seconds slower than his fastest lap overall. So he is actually going the right direction with lap times. Sanchez getting out of the way as the 47 comes by, nice and high, staying dry through the Geico restart zone. In that position, that was for position, but sometimes, man, when you know that your opponent, oh, there it is, look at that. He still gave him position, but it's not over yet because both of these guys are struggling through the turns. But sometimes when your opponent's beat and whipped, you know it. You know what I mean? You ain't going to pull up on a guy like that when you got a beaten pony.
There he goes.
Man.
Watch
Still waiting
him
on
come
that
around.
white flag. Here he comes.
Looking for it. Here is the front chicane now. This is his second to last time through. The penultimate time.
Yeah, great camera angle there. Getting the view from the driver. See exactly how he navigates those turns.
And across the line, black flag for Vincent Crowe. That's probably going to be incident related, I'm guessing.
Yes, sir.
Too many off tracks. Let's have a look-see here. A little late for the black flag, obviously. The white flag is already flown, but there he goes around. So he's going to be out of the running for
anything.
Anything. Anything.
Yeah. Yeah, because you're still going to serve that black flag, so he'll be at the tail order of everything once that's done.
Exactly. Very unfortunate for Vincent Crowe.
He'll actually be beneath Greg Wojcinski, even because Wojcinski's already served his black flag.
That's fair. That's fair.
So you'll finish the race with a penalty, which means that he'll be beneath everyone that's on the same lap as him and above.
Gotcha. Well, that's going to put him back. That's going to put him back in 10th place now from where he is right now. Into 1 and 2 goes Bacon Zelenka. He's going to make a quick pass on a lap car here. That's the 24 of Kenny Powell. Slides beneath Powell. Powell on the outside. They go into the back stretch now, looking for the bus stop. Here at the bus stop, it's Bacon Zelenka trying to find his braking zone. He's in it now. Hits the braking zone. Tries this line. He's still being fairly conservative, but the oscillations have started. Maintains control of the car. For the last lap, he got a little spicy there, it looks like. Coming around through 3 and 4, folks. This is it. Get on the edge of your seats. We're going to wrap things up here. 41 laps of the Daytona International Speedway road course. And Bacon Zelenka has won this thing 1, 2, 3 with the turkey in easy order, it looks like. Here he comes down around through the Geico restart zone. The crowd is on their feet. They're screaming. Here comes the line, and across goes Bacon. It's Bacon Zelenka with your first place victory here at Daytona. Wow, what a finish. That was a entertaining race from top to bottom. There was a lot going on in that race. I thought maybe the fact that we get all stretched out meant that we weren't going to see too much action, Big Al, but it turned out to be wrong.
Yeah, lots of action actually going down on the racetrack. Race still continuing for a lot of folks. These guys are still going to be racing to the line, not just done yet. Still, a lot of these guys racing for position. The 48 car he just comes across. Looking at the 24 car, I think he might have found himself a spot to go bury his head.
Yeah, unfortunately. Oh. There goes there goes Crow.
Was that intentional or?
I think so. He likes to noodle around once he knows that the race is, over a little bit or before it started, stuff like that. We've seen Vincent Crow drive very playfully before. Here we go. Yeah, see? This is very par for the course. Very par for the course.
Because I was, I'm the track police. I'll go down there and be like, stop playing around. All right,
Well, I'll let you tell him that.
Bacon Zelenka's going to be your race winner here tonight. He is going to be trying to get back around so he can burn it down, try to give him a display of celebratory inclinations. I'm going to go ahead and run through the order here. Bacon was your winner. Sean Signore, second. Third place going to be Jose Medina. Mark Sanchez coming across in fourth. Vincent Crow, fifth. Sixth place, Jay Hone. Seventh place, Kenny Powell. Jeremy Clapper Noel brings across in eighth. Greg Wachinski. It's going to be ninth. Kimmel Ravon rounds out the top 10. And that's going to leave David Javas and Paul Osen running out the 12-car field here tonight. I mean, it's a great race. A lot of guys ran into some. A lot of guys got a lot of notes to take. They're taking a lot of notes back with them.
Yeah, it's an educational night for a lot of these drivers for sure. And in a little bit, we're going to get a chance to talk to three of them.
This is formative. It's well, it's education. They got both of those tonight. I like it.
Very much so.
What are we going to do? Are we waiting on something? Are we going to take a step away and
I think we're going to take a quick step away, and then when we get back, we got three guys to talk to.
So we're going to pay some bills.
Woo! Papa John's just took their fresh, never frozen dough in hand, stretched it into thin, oversized New York-style slices. I mean, look at that crust! That is the perfect crust thickness no matter how you eat it. So you can fold it, or not. But I ain't gonna lie though, I fold it. Get a New York-style pizza from Papa John's. Better ingredients, better pizza.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Hey folks, welcome back to the ISCA Super Cup Series Thursday night. It's the post-race show with Big Al and Jolo up in the booth. We are now going to be talking with a few of our winners from tonight up on the podium. First things first, I'm going to pass the microphone over to Big Al, who's going to put the microphone in front of Sean Signori to get some information from him. Take it away.
Sean Signori, Big Al up in the booth. You got me?
Yeah, I do, buddy. How you doing?
Man, I'm doing pretty good. What a show, what a race. How you feeling after all of that down there?
Oh man, I'm pretty wiped. That was a tough race. That felt like 4 hours of Daytona, maybe the 24 hours of Daytona compared to 2.5. That was a marathon there.
What do you attribute the struggles to be? I mean, does this have anything to do with the new upload?
I think it does. I think that all our setups were old and caused a lot of the problems that you saw out there tonight. It caused a lot of the self spins and the tires getting burnt off. And you know, my setup's from like 3 years ago, so I don't think that worked out in the favor of anybody tonight. I don't think anybody had a setup made for this build.
So that's if you could answer me this question, do you feel that the new tires are adding a lot more in terms of reality to the sim and tire management?
I definitely felt like towards the end of that run that my tires were really burnt off and Vincent was having that problem, and I feel like, yeah, they are a little bit more realistic because after, 2-3 laps of sliding or hard running, you slide them 2 or 3 times, they're done.
Absolutely. So like you said, your setup was old this week. So how many laps do you think you actually were able to put in under the new conditions here for tonight's race?
I got about 10-15 laps before the race this afternoon, and I was kind of busy this afternoon working and stuff, so I didn't have much time, and I'm kind of regretting it now because I feel like that might have cost me the win and a shot at bacon. But I put a lot of time and effort just in keeping the car on the track and keeping smooth there, especially in that last stage, and it seems to have paid off. I guess I wrecked less than everybody else tonight.
Yeah, definitely had a lot of drivers going through on the drive-through for the max penalties, but hey, you kept it clean, man. Solid run for you, and I'm really glad that you guys did come out here and perform, and you gave us you gave me some bragging rights, kind of, sort of. So who you shouting out tonight here for your second place finish overall?
I want to shout out my buddy Brian, man. He's been my teammate for a long time, my road racing teammate, and he's taught me a lot. And I guess every single time I'm doing one of these road course races, I always think of him because he's my go-to teammate. And I've learned so much from him over the years about road racing and keeping the car on track and being smooth. And I guess it paid off tonight somewhat, and I got a second place out of it.
Yeah, indeed it did. And, man, I'm going to tell you what, you looked like a true professional down there going through the wickets. It was a pleasure to watch. Hey, as I always say, don't party too hard, boss, and we'll see you next week.
See you guys soon. Have a great night.
All right, that was Sean Signore, your second place finisher. Oh, look, Joe. It's Jose. Yeah. Jose's up in the booth.
Oh, I see that here.
I'm here, Joey.
Well, how about this, Big Al? You want to talk to Jose Medina?
Sure. Hey, Jose, how's it going, boss? Welcome to the podium.
Oh, good to see. No, I'm really surprised I made it.
Yeah, good to see you back up here. I mean, it doesn't seem like too long ago you were actually up here bumping elbows with us in the podium tonight, though, under a little bit different circumstances. This one actually turned out to be a road course, and it wasn't just any road course. It was a road course that seemed to have a lot of people's numbers, man. Not a lot of people going having fun down there. But you seem to come out pretty much unscathed there with a third place finish.
Yeah, I got pretty lucky there, Big Al. I mean, it was really rough, but it felt really good, man. I never really do good at the road courses, but tonight I had a good night and got lucky. Got lucky, man. I was off road a lot, but I survived.
We had a couple drivers competing for the off-road award tonight. But tell me this, man. This was actually an open setup race. Heard a lot of the guys that I've talked to speaking specifically about setups. Where were you guys at tonight in terms of your setup?
Oh, I felt great. I mean, to me, actually, yesterday I did one race on open setups also, but it was in Michigan. And man, I had a hard time because I used one of the open setups that I had, and that did not work. And I heard a lot of people who were using fixed setups, but today we got a updated setup for Daytona Road, so it worked out, man. It was perfect. I give a lot of credit to Ken from Ryko and and the guys that work hard behind the scenes.
Well, definitely congratulations to you for running in third. You did not make it look easy. It seemed like you guys had your hands full down there tonight. Who you shouting out for such a hard-fought, very well-deserved third-place finish?
First shout out is going to be to Kenny Powell, the league owner. I mean, he's stuck with us. He's sticking with us. He's riding with us. I mean, it's been a rough season, but we're going to get through it all together. So, and we'll look forward to next season if God bless, if God permits. So, I give a shout out to Kenny Powell. I give a shout out to all you fellas from the broadcasting crew, Kobe. You know, I always forget Kobe Jordan, but not this time, Kobe. So thank you for behind the scenes, the nice footage you always give us, Joey, and you, of course, Big Al. You know, it's always a pleasure to hear you. And to all and everybody behind the scenes, like I said, everybody behind the scenes, my paint designer, which is Paul Ferdidiani. He does the last minute paint schemes for me anytime I ask for it. And of course my wife that never supports me because I'm Hispanic. I'm not supposed to be doing this NASCAR stuff. And it's supposed to be a game, supposedly, but you know, I always tell her it's a sim professional racing, you know. So that's the way I see it. And that's
tell her to watch the broadcast.
And all the sponsors, of course, all the sponsors. And we appreciate all the love you guys give us, and hurrah! And like I said, Semper Fi for all the Marines and everybody that protects us and keeps us safe.
All right, that was funky, Cole Medina. Your third place finisher tonight overall, Jose Medina. Jose, thank you very much, sir. And you have yourself a good evening. Back to you, Joe.
I sure will. Thank you.
All right, you heard it here, folks. That was Big Al and Jose Medina, third place finisher. I am now going to spin over to the man who won not just one, not just two, but all three of tonight's stages, Bacon Zelenka. Bacon, we talked to you after stage one, and now we're talking to you after stage three. Has anything changed between now and then about your experience? What was stage three like there, getting chased down by Sean Signori?
Would have been a lot easier if I didn't mangle my right front on the sausage curves.
But, yeah, I should ask you about that.
My own stupidity got me on that one.
You really ate, there was one time that you bumped over those curbs, and you started rocking left and right, almost like just the whole car was oscillating left and right. Can you walk us through that moment for you?
Well, it was sort of just praying. It was like, Ricky Bobby, what do you do with my hands? Because I was letting go of the steering wheel. I was forced to set to maximum on my Simucube, so I just whipped back and forth and eventually lived. I don't really know how that works, but my Moses says I was at 8 degrees of negative camber at the end of the race.
Oh man, yeah. So you really were fighting the hardware then from that point forward, and we saw that you were really trying to fight maybe some tire wear too by the end of that race.
Tires weren't that bad. I took care of them a bit too much. I had, I don't know, maybe 10% better tires than Sean. I didn't use enough of the tire, used too much of suspension.
Gotcha. And well, you know what? Whatever combination it was, it found you to the end of the race, and it kept you ahead of Sean Signori just enough to do what had to be done. Is there anybody you'd like to shout out to or thank for your overall performance tonight?
Same as always, my parents for letting me do this. Vincent Crow for one supplying me with setups, even though we did not match the spring rate to a tire out of the car at all. The bouncing was amazing. I actually had to thank Sean for not running me over, even though he had every right to. And I have to thank SAR and the league for running it. And of course you guys in the broadcast booth for making it fun.
Well, it was our pleasure, my friend. Congratulations again on the gold medal, and we will see you for some more racing very soon.
Absolutely.
And that, folks, is going to bring things to a head here at the ISCA Super Cup Series. This was our Thursday night race. We were at Daytona Road Course, and Big Al, how you feeling after all that?
Man, I'm telling you what, that was probably one of the best production races that we've seen here in a while. Really proud of the guys for actually coming out here tonight. Thanks for their families for giving them the opportunity. Thanks for our racing, man, for giving us such an awesome product that we can come out here tonight and all basically meet on this platform here and kind of get through this. Thanks for all of our sponsors for actually giving us a voice. Thanks for Kenny for putting the place together. Thanks, Kobe, for being down there in the booth doing what you do. Thank you, Joe. And thank everyone for tuning in and watching us.
All right, well, that's going to be it, folks. You can see on the screen a lot of information about the ISCA that you can use this information to track down even more information. ISCAracing.com for stuff about our schedule and for more information on our socials there. You've got them on screen, but also on screen right now, Pocono. That's where we're going, the Tricky Triangle next week. So be sure to tune in for that. So, Pocono next week. The ISCA is coming to a close tonight. It's been Jolo, Big Al, and Kobe, and I want you all to take care. Have a great week.
I found the ISCA after I'd been in the service for a long time. I'd been in iRacing for well over a decade and spent most of my time in NASCAR series, a lot of fixed racing for the most part, and really just got to a point in my iRacing career where I really wanted to get involved in open setup racing versus fixed, partially because I was just looking for a little higher level of competition, you know, maybe a little cleaner driving and maybe get away from some of the challenges that go along with fixed racing on the service. And it took me a while as I was really searching out leagues because I kind of had a very specific thing I was looking for. A, I wanted to be an established league. You know, B, I just really wanted clean, quality drivers to be racing around. And once I found the ISCA, I found out really quick that it was going to check all